Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and the fun thing that we're trying to do today is we're going to be playing Nightmares with Kaheera. So Kaheera, probably my favorite companion, and the one that works the best probably even with the nerf, because you can still tutor it up, put it into your hand, which is really nice, but it also plays really well in the main deck where it's totally fine to be running into this in the main deck. And so I went down to 3 copies because of the legendary type of thing. I had a few more initially, but what we want to do is play this really awesome Nightmare. There's a lot of really good Nightmares actually in the format right now for the Nightmare tribal deck. So we're going to play a little bit more towards the mutate ability here. Zagoth Mamba, perfect Nightmare for us. I did also have Banehound, which is another really good piece for this if you're trying to go for a bit more just like creature heavy Nightmare build, but I decided to change this one up a little bit. So yeah, anyway, Zagoth Mamba, really good in the 1-drop slot. Whenever it gets mutated onto a target creature an opponent controls, gets -2/-2 until end of turn. We have quite a bit of mutate abilities in the kind of mid to late game. So Necropanther, being able to bring back all of our early game stuff. We have Insatiable Hemophage, which can also just kind of drain some life whenever equal to the number of times it's been mutated. Also giving a creature Death Touch, which is really nice, like with our Devour of Memory, with our Fiend Artisan or whatever. And then we also have our Snapdax in here, which can also mutate onto things and do awesome cool stuff. So Zagoth Mamba is kind of just a really good 1-drop that with our Lurrus, with our Necropanther, with whatever else, we can immediately be replaying it pretty consistently, and as long as we're getting it mutated onto here and there, it's really nice. And just having a target to mutate for this deck works out really well. The other targets are Devour of Memory, which whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. The main goal here is to get this out, get Snapdax onto it, give it double strike, and if we have Doom Whisperer, we can surveil, mill a bunch of cards over, paying 2 life, whatever. We can pay as much life as we want, because if we get to swing in unblockable, get this pumped up like crazy, we can actually just swing in for the win on 1 turn. So that is kind of a fun game plan we can go with this. We're basically just keeping Snapdax in here for his mutate ability, not really caring about red. We are splashing a bit of red just in case so we actually have it out there. We can get this out for 4 mana and then mutate other things onto it pretty effectively as well. And then I decided to go ahead and go for a little bit of just like to have some good control. Since we're in Esper anyway, I wanted to bring in Ashiok because it creates Nightmares, which we're playing a Nightmare tribal deck. You have to play Nightmares, right? And so Ashiok is in here. And then Oath of Kaya, Heartless Act, and Teferi felt like the best cards to just kind of be filling out that other slot. I know you guys are hating me for playing Teferi, but we're in Esper. We have Oath of Kaya's as really good removal. It just makes sense to be playing more Planeswalkers for that. And so yeah, that's what we're doing. It also helps us actually make sure that all of our creatures and mutate stuff don't get countered. It just makes sense to play Teferi while it's here. I'm really excited for it to rotate out, but while it's still in there, we might as well let it help us play more fun stuff. That's my feel. And so other than that, Lurrus again lets us replay a lot of our early stuff. Fiend Artisan, I mean, if we can bring back a Fiend Artisan late game with a Lurrus and have it come out as like an 8/8 or something like that, especially with Doom Whisperer, we can end up making that kind of thing happen. It's pretty nice. Devour of Memory coming back, Zagoth Mamba is pretty nice. Same thing with Necropanther, being able to bring back a lot of really good stuff. And so anyway, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this one does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Mano Sragna. Anyway, we have the Mamba turn 1. We're on the draw, so we can hopefully find some other stuff. But I mean, like, if we hit a land, Oath of Kaya is really nice. Lurrus, being able to bring back the Mamba and stuff. We're gonna go ahead and keep this. We don't have any mutate abilities, which will be a little bit interesting. Flourishing Fox. But I care to get this out on turn 1. But I guess I don't really have like a turn 2 play at the moment, so it's not really going to matter if we're up against the cycling deck. If they get it up to 3 really quickly, hopefully Teferi comes in and just bounces that. Do I normally do intros in 1 take? Yeah, typically. So yeah, I am recording this live for those that are on YouTube. If you guys want to come watch a stream, link down below. I was in a little bit of funk there for a bit. I've been having some troubles trying to balance out 3 part-time jobs basically, and so it's been a little bit hard, but overall life is grand. Ashiok, let's see here. The other Ashiok would be really good against this deck. Exiling a bunch of stuff so they don't get it into the graveyard. I think we put it to the bottom and try to find something. I'm trying to think of what we would find that's better though. Because if we do curve out, that's not a bad play. But it doesn't save us from Zenith Flare. That's the biggest issue, is it doesn't save us from Zenith Flare. And I feel like going more aggressive and everything like that might just be better. So no attacks past the turn. Opponent just scoops it up. They must have just had like a really bad hand or something. I have no clue why. But I mean, we'll take it. We hadn't even shown blue mana yet. That was just Nightmares. Like, they had no clue what our deck was doing. So maybe they just had a really bad hand or something. Yep, deck is perfect. 100% win rate. Up against Mr. Morden. Bring it on. Alright, like the lands. We got a good turn 1. But then, like, nothing. This is turn 5. I believe I'll draw into better things. Not with my luck, you know? I guess we can just like bring Kahira into hand on turn 3. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. I do like testing decks out rather than just like, especially if I'm playing this for recording for YouTube, whatever. I'd rather like showcase the deck with different types of hands rather than just going for the hand that makes the most sense, because I'm still trying to figure out which hand does make the most sense, you know? All right, so attack in. Otaka is pretty good as well. We'll see what we're up against. If there's no creatures or anything, we just bring Kahira to hand, get some more power on the battlefield. Be awesome. Swing in. Down to 16, pass the turn. Another Growth Spiral. Well, hopefully we hit lands. Lands would be grand. They're doing a whole lot of stuff here. No red mana yet, which means, and we still get the Snapdax, but it's tapped. Yeah, just play Kahira, swing in for 2. So I'm expecting something like a Casualties of War here. That's definitely like the worst thing that can happen. Uro's not great either. If we hit land, we'll probably, I mean, Doom Whisper is pretty nice. Doom Whisper is really nice with Kahira. We can start digging for good cards as well. Ashiok's not terrible, being able to just consistently bring out good blockers and things. Another Uro. Cool. They get to bring one back next turn and still keep the other one in the graveyard. No land. I get to swing in for a lot more if I put this on. If I Snapdax onto it eventually, that could be pretty nice as well. I mean, it's kind of the only play we've got. Oath of Kaya feels a little bit bad here. But over. Okay, down to 12 past the turn. And that's with them gaining 6 life. This is actually a decent hand. If we get the Snapdax onto this next, that'll be sweet.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced. I I know I noted this somewhere.
Yeah, I really want to see Snapdax. Snapdax with Kahira is really powerful. Being able to make it 4 instead of 3 is really nice. I'm assuming that an Uro is going to come out unless they find something perfect. Yeah. So Uro is going to come back. We cry a little bit inside. I guess we could also just play a Doom Whisperer, which is straight up blocks an Uro. I mean, this is all dependent on us actually finding a land that's untapped. Yeah, that didn't happen. We have the Death Touch. I could tweet it at Tamio so they're not as worried about it necessarily. And then if we do get in at Tamio, we can Oath of Kai and kill it. Just kind of get rid of that. Alright, so they do block. I mean, it's our only play. Might as well get hurt the Tamio. Keep them from being able to bring stuff back easily. I mean, they're just going to Uro again, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's a lot of ramp. Casualties of War. Alright. Yeah, this is a bad matchup for us. Us being stuck on lands as well didn't help at all. Having a handful of 5-drops. I mean, the Ashiok isn't a terrible play here. Against Uro, Ashiok does quite a bit of work because they have to swing in with just one creature over and over again. The issue is Casualties of War, is that it does so much value there. But if we can Ashiok, just get out a bunch of creatures over and over again. I mean, I guess we play this. We have to play something. Please find me a land.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Oh gosh. We don't get to draw the card. It's our only target though. I mean, they could have it go back to hand and that's fine, but I'm assuming they're going to sacrifice and draw a card here. Yeah. Not being able to hit land there, I'm going to go ahead and concede. No reason to be playing this one any longer. I mean, it's a bummer having a bunch of awesome cards in hand that we can't use, but we didn't hit them. They had the answers. It's too bad. Moving on. All right, up against Zealot. Bring it on, you Zealot. Mamba into Fiend Artisans. Sure. It's a bunch of 1/1s, but sure. Only 2 lands. I mean, this is a 3-drop, right? So I mean, if we hit anything, it's gonna be pretty nice. Back. What's that from? Right. Attack. Attack. Go Fiend Artisan. Go Spiral. Yep. Ramp. I think that's another thing that's an issue with... we may need to take this into free play because... Ramp is hard to beat. It really is. It's a hard thing for us to actually interact well with a deck like this, where this deck is really fun. It's interesting. I think that we're going to have some good plays, but I may go take it into free play instead. just because we're going to run up against the more interesting matchups. Right now, meta is still trying to be decided, though. So, I mean, there is some fun stuff going on here, too. Oath of Kaya can be pretty nice. I mean, Insatiable Hemophage also seems grand. Play a creature. We can also tutor up a creature. I'm trying to think of if we get like Devourer of Memory. That could be kind of cool.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Are we playing the exact same deck we just played? It looks like it. Alright, Insatiable Hemophage lets us actually do quite a bit to Tamiyo. We can do 5 with Oath of Kaya, and that guarantees a kill or a much higher chance of getting a kill. Yeah, I guess we get this down now. All right, on to the Mamba. Over. All attack at Tamiyo. What do they have in the graveyard right now? They can bring back Shark Typhoon. I could just go face right now, huh? Alright, down to 10. I mean, we have some burn in hand. As long as they're not hitting Uros, we have a shot here. And they were just digging for one, so there is a chance that they don't have it. Oh no. Yep, that's good.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
Fiend Artisan seems really weak here. I'd love to be able to do that and go for the here. So I mean, I guess we kill Tamiyo. Got the Shrine tapped, pass the turn. I'd love to find blue mana. That would be great. It's great. Ooh, just plays out the Shark Typhoon. Well, we do get to bounce that, so that's nice. Slow it down a smidge. Fiend Artisan.
I'll show you straight. Let's try this.
Heartless Act is good against what if they just go for the token now. All right, that was actually pretty good right there. Fiend Artisan is feeling a little bit awkward in this deck, though. I feel like every once in a while it's going to be busted. It is a nightmare. That's the whole thing, and it's. But we don't have a game plan for making Fiend Artisan really like. We're not digging for stuff.
A matter of time.
Gosh, I hate that so much. Guess we play it tapped. There's no reason to shock in. We can still Heartless Act on the next turn as well. The issue is that they get to just play this straight out. And if they have like a Growth Spiral right away, they get value immediately. All right, pass the turn. I don't think we can beat a Shark Typhoon on the board. They going Casualties of War again? Of course. All right, just Hydrocrisis. All right. Even if we remove 3 counters, we can't do a ton. We can't really swing in. Alrighty then. Oh man, and we just can't draw. All right, I'm done with this game as well. We drew, yeah, that was not the bestest. The Perforos deck? Perforos would be fun. I feel like there's so many good things in the next set for Perforos that I'm kind of waiting until we get to that point for it. Because, like, the Chandra's Incinerator, I don't know, there's a few other things that I feel like would make a Perforos deck. The enchantment that does triple damage and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Perforos is... There's not enough big, good things that don't just, like... Even if you, like, flash something and get it in for a point of damage, people are holding up Heartless Axe for stuff like that. I just don't think that the format right now is really good for Perforos to be good. It's more of a commander card. Alright, this is a perfect curve. 1, 2, 3. We can wait till turn 4 if we want for this, but even just playing this out and mutating onto it is really nice. And so yeah, we're gonna keep this. Oh, hello. Lieutenant SBG. Art. Serrated Scorpion. Don't say. Oh crap. Mono black aggro. Shocking Yourselves feels great. No attacks past the turn. I might just go for the Necropanther for the next turn. Now going for lots of mutate would be really nice as well. That's not a bad game plan for sure. Yara. Yara. Down to 14. Man, we're shocking ourselves a lot. But that's fine. Put it over, we get to kill Serrated Scorpion. And we get to swing in. We're fine if Fiend Artisan dies because we actually get it back with Necropanther on the next turn. Get to gain some life back, swing in. I guess they just have the block there, huh? Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. Oh, Double Vision. Yeah, I think Double Vision will be a pretty fun one. There's gonna be a lot of Jinky Brews there. It's unfortunate that it's a 5 mana do nothing, you know? That's pretty brutal. All right, we chump block. Priest of Forgotten Gods. That's not good. Man, we're shocking ourselves so much with this mana. All right, mutate. We get to gain 2 life with this, get to kill Priest of Forgotten Gods, and get to bring back Fiend Artisan. So I'm kind of okay with it. This art looks cool. Alright, so bring that back. Kill you. Gain 2 life. I mean, if they get to Gray Merchant, though, we're dead. Found me on YouTube and like the vids, keep it up. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it. I will do. We have a chump blocker. So do they. I guess no attacks. We take 2 more, down to 6. If they have Grey Merchant, we're immediately dead. They have to hit land into Grey Merchant, but I just have a feeling that's what they're holding on to. Yeah, these Fiend Artisans, we've not been able to keep anything in a graveyard, it feels like. So it's kind of funky. Let's see here. I could attack him with Fiend Artisan, see if we can get the get it back. We also potentially get to kill Ayara that way. All right, yeah. They just ping. That's fine. They should have sacked the other way, I think, but or maybe not. All right, put it under. Having multiple of these Hemiphages would actually be pretty sweet, huh? I only have 2 copies. Maybe we drop some Fiend Artisans for more of the Hemiphage, because I've been liking the card every time so far. Down to 7. How many times has this been mutated? Few times. I mean, yeah, if you could have multiple of the Insatiable Hemiphage, that actually would be pretty busted. I think we drop 2 Fiend Artisans, go up 2 more of these guys. Ashiok coming in and bouncing AR might be pretty nice as well if we can actually hit a land. Yeah, if you get 3 of them in play, yeah, I could see like 3 stacked on top of each other would just be insane amount. And the life gain part of it is pretty sweet as well. And Death Touch means it's hard to really attack into. This feels like a dead weight. Fiend Artisan gets massive though, so I mean that is another side of this. We stopped gaining life, but okay. Ooh.
Warrior Queen
Little Lily, eh?
Has a nice ring to it.
All right, please, oh please, give me land for the Ashiok.
Rise.
Bounce that, exile it. Come on, deck. I could try to swing the Hemiphage in. They probably just chump block it. I can bring Kahira to hand, or I can go digging for what? Another Fiend Artisan, which is a 2/2. And it'll get bigger later. I have to hit land. I feel like there's very, very high odds now that the land is on top because of the number of times we've not drawn a land. So no attacks, pass the turn. We try to survive through Liliana. Ashiok is literally the perfect thing for... I mean, I guess they have AR, so they can not exile it. But double Ashiok should take care of it. Alright, we're just dead.
This looks like a fun new toy.
Yeah, so they kill us there by sacking this traded Scorpion. And they also have the College of Familiar. They have AR to sack traded Scorpion. They had about 6 points of damage there. They might have had like 8 points of damage. We were at 4. Actually, wait. Cancel. I wanted to bring in the hemophages. All right, I think we drop a Lurrus, we drop Fiend Artisan, and we go up 2 of these. For the love. Let me craft these. Come on. Does it actually have it? Okay, that was weird. Yeah, the Lurrus wasn't feeling super great for me with what we were having. We hadn't really run into it yet either. It's a bummer not to have more of it, but I do think that this will help us with our game plan overall. So, okay, there we go. Watch my wild cards. Yeah, the uncommons are definitely gonna go away, man. All right, up against Coyote. Bring on Coyote. And no early game stuff. Insatiable Hemophage is really only good if we get to mutate it. So we're going to mulligan. We get Heartless Act. Red mana is completely useless in our deck, but we do get Mamba as well. I'm going to keep it. Drop the expensive stuff. Wild cards getting consumed, yeah, but 721 should suffice. Yeah, I've got a few. Hey, we actually hit the land for the Snapdax. I mean, I really don't want to use red mana for it. I'm basically splashing a tiny bit of red because there are times that you have an empty board and bringing down a Snapdax can close out a game just by itself because it is a powerful creature and you can mutate onto it pretty nicely as well. So, yeah. Thought Erasure takes Lurrus, I'm assuming. Necropanther. Okay, I guess Necropanther also kind of brings back the Lurrus, so that makes sense. Temple of Silence, sweet. Yeah, we'll keep lands. Lands are grand. Lurrus PTSD, yeah. Seriously. All right, so attack in. We will just play out the Lurrus. Yeah, that's fine. I could Heartless Act and get him, but we're gonna go for the Lurrus. I guess I could have played the Mountain there. I did not need to shock myself. Well, oh well. Necropanther is pretty nice. Oh, we're gonna play the Mamba while we can before they have any interactions. Get the value out of Lurrus. We can hold up Heartless Act and swing in. If they bring out another Omen of the Sun, I guess we still die. We can also bring it back before long. Let's go ahead and attack in. If we get to kill 3 tokens, I'm kind of okay with it. They know we have Heartless Act, so they have to block with all of them. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I think that we just bring back Kahira to hand on this one. And then we Necropanther here, bring back Lurrus. Hiya. Dang it. That's bad.
Cooler the opponent you won. This time.
They get to exile here anyway, so we just play out the best creature. Go Kahira. I guess technically playing out like Necropanther and then playing Kahira after the fact would be better.
Be gone. Am I? I'll be back. Just you wait.
I love how you go into free play and all of a sudden you're running up against the best deck in standard. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Meditate and prepare.
Elspeth conquers death. I'm not really worried about them ever having creatures, so we just play out Snapdax. We attack in and kill Narset. They'll have to deal with one of these. Their best draw now is a board wipe, and we got rid of their best way of finding that. They're still a little ways away from Yorion. Alright, so they have it. Of course they have it. Gosh dang it.
You're not welcome. Well done. I won't forget this.
Dude, this Kaya is doing work, and I hate it. Necropanther just gets hit by Elspeth Conquers Death, right? I mean, I guess I'd rather just get it out earlier than later. Their best play is probably holding off, bringing Yorion. Alright, so this is CGB's deck. This is the deck that's meant to be able to destroy the Cat Oven deck. Glass Casket, yeah, Guess what? It's pretty good.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Alright, so we still have enough to pay for everything. Alright, so Fairy, we can bounce Glass Casket.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
Yay.
Trust me, I have a plan.
What, play Kahira now? We can play another one. Five cards exiled. I don't want to give him Kahira as a target just yet. And I don't feel like our graveyard's mattering anyway, so we just get out Necropanther. We can turn him into 4/4s on the next turn, or whichever one might survive. What's up, Baggy Muff?
I am not frightened by you.
Another Glass Casket. Yeah, just goes for the double duty. If they have land, they can also bring Yorion back. Will they have everything? 7 cards now.
Pack your bags and hit the road.
Gosh dang it.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
All right, this game is over as well. There's not a reason to be sticking in it, right? Okay. All right, go to the next one. I wonder if we ought to just be playing Yorion as well, just because Yorion is fun. There is the one side of Yorion, if we have a big stack of mutate creatures and we bounce it, we could just go really wide all of a sudden and do some cool stuff. What's my win rate? I've won 1 game out of 5 so far with this deck, so it's not very great. Yeah, we keep this. And all the shock lands are actually hurting quite a bit too. Get out the Mamba. I mean, I've been wanting to see how this does against a mono red deck. I do think that we have some value in going this route. Ugh. Still our best thing possible. That's pretty good. No blocks. Okay, give me an actual good 2-drop. Heartless Act. That is a great 2-drop. Or 2-cost thing. Heartless Act. Man, we're dealing so much damage to ourselves. If we can get multiple the hemophages, then that'll be great. Annex. Oath of Kaya. Ooh. And so much shockiness, but we'll take it. Kill the Annex. We will attack. Down to 16. Boros, eh? Legion War Boss. Dude, he's the boss. Down to 9. All of Fountain tapped. Onto the Mamba. Kill the War Boss. Over. Now we have a great blocker. This is actually working out. Okay, this is good against mono red somehow. But against everything else, I don't know. Alright, do they have the Embercleave? If they attack all in, they do. If they don't, alright. And we have a shot. Creatures in deck. Graveyard, nothing. Alright, so Kahira. Mamba. Decent blockers. We swing in. With Vigilance especially. Down to 11, pass turn. The extra added bonus of Vigilance is... I always overlook it, but it's so good here. Alright, so I think we attack with everything. I could Ashiok here. Could even bounce the Vanguard. Alright, so attack in first. I want to see if they go for double blocking Kahira. Which we can just Necropanther, bring it back. Get in for some damage as well. That way we don't have to shock ourselves, do the Ashiok on the next turn. Alright, down to 5. Mutate. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so this is the kind of deck that we built this for. This is great against mono red somehow, but against all the other stuff, I mean that worked out really, really well right there. So I mean, yeah. Overall, what do we think of this deck? I think that this deck has a lot of fun to it. We only won 2 games. So yeah, 33% win rate, which is not very great. But I mean, we ran up against, on these losses, we ran up against the same deck 2 times for each of these. Like these 2 losses were the exact same deck. These 2 losses were the exact same deck, which is just like the control decks that, like the Sultai ramp is hard for us to beat. And so maybe it is just bringing in better stuff for that. Or it just, like, honestly, I think that we can win in those matchups if we just have the right draws and everything. We never really found them. Like Devour of Memory is probably one of the cards that helps us a lot in those ones. Into Doom Whisperer and kind of go crazy, which we never really got that combo as well. Like there was a lot of pieces I feel like we just never even saw in these games, which was kind of a bummer. But overall, I do think the deck is fun. If you're looking for a fun deck, you're looking to do Nightmare Tribal, I think this is probably the best take on Nightmare Tribal that I think I'm actually pretty happy still with what the deck we came up with. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.